Hey guys, today is March the 25th of 2022, and I wanted to go over my setup that I call simple glance when I do my market recap. Someone asked me to kind of go over what I use. I guess maybe they want to follow the analysis I use and the indicators. So let's get into it. I'm going to try to make this one quick. Maybe I might do parts of this. I don't know. Let's see if I could get this good chunk in a big video. First off, this is, by the way, CCJ Chemical. So first thing I do, all the indicators I like to use on this thing called simple glance. And the reason why I call it simple glance is because the ichimoku translation means one glance. So I kind of modified it a little bit and called it simple glance. Although it's not simple because there's a lot of stuff I add to it. It's not just a ichimoku cloud, but it's part of it. But I just like that phrase, one glance, like in just one glance you look, okay, it's bullish, it's bearish, it's consolidating. So I kind of like that terminology. But I just call mine a simple glance. So I just stuck with it. So I just wanted to give you a little backdrop on how that came about. So the first thing I do is I add a volume average. It's at default 50 on a Thinkorswim. I don't know what yours would be, but you could adjust that if you want. So what I want to do is I want to see how volume is. If it's above the 50 average, showing a lot of activity. If it's below it, it's kind of not as active. So that's the first thing I just want to see. So let's zoom in a little more here. As you can see, that's my first indicator. My second indicator, it's a modified version of the MACD. They call it the Mac Daddy. And I really like it. I don't know what is it about it. It's just a little different than the MACD. It just gives me like better signals. I'm sure if you get the MACD, you modify it or adjust it, you could probably get the same thing. But either way, I like the way it works. You could put whatever here you want. You could put an RSI, you could put a MACD, you could put an ADX, whatever, floats your boat. I personally like the Mac Daddy. So that's when you hear me say Mac Daddy, it's because this is the MACD. I like it because of the signals that it generates. Got to adjust it down here. And I like it also because I'm a visual person. I like to see the crossovers and an arrow pointing it. It just kind of helps me better. So those are the two indicators I have below, and then that's it. So now we're going to go to the top. The first indicator I put is a simple moving average with the close of 1. You're going to find out why. Not 20, not 15, not 100, 1. When you do that, the moving average only goes to the close. So if there's all this volatility, once the final close is printed, the moving average locks to that. So it kind of shows me the trend by close, which I like to see. One of the reasons why I like to see that is because when you add the Kanashi candle system, you really can't tell the close in this kind of candle expression. Very difficult for me. I can't tell what's the close. You can't even really tell the high or the low. It's just the way the Kanashi is. So one of the reasons I added the simple moving averages is just for me to find out the close once I put the Kanashi. If I don't put the Kanashi, I still like to see the close, but I could see it better with the candle system. It's just harder with the Kanashi. So that's one of the reasons why I put it. The next indicator I have is the Mobo. This is from Thinkorswim. They call it Mobo, from David Elliott. Pretty much what it is the Bollinger Bands. I guess kind of like inverted. It's like a certain setting. So the theory is that if prices close below the Bollinger or the mobile bands, but it's pretty much the Bollinger bands, it's bearish. So when prices close below it, they see that the Bollinger bands turn red. When prices close above the Bollinger Band, that means it's bullish. So it's bullish, bands turn green. You see that it's chopped up here. Then it went above the Bollinger Bands or the mobile band. So you see that it turns green. Even though it pulls in, the bands are still green. It'll keep you in the trend. So there's a couple of systems I have that will try to keep me in the trend. They just kind of go about it in different ways, and I'll go over that. But it's just pretty much easy. You see, the bands turn red. Here they turn green. Prices were going up and down, and then they turn down here. You see how it goes. While the candles are turning different colors for different days, bullish and bearish, back and forth. The next thing I add, I'm probably going to take a little break because my throat is getting dry. It's the trend indicator. This one right here is from John Carter, not the movie director, but the trader. And he has a coloring system that I adjusted. I like to see it because I have a lot of stuff that's green, so I need to balance it out. So my bullish candles using this indicator that kind of lets me know the trend. Everything that's bullish is white. And when it's bearish, it's red. So with this system, even though it's coming down, it's still telling me that the trend is up. Right here now, it kind of crossed over the threshold and it got bearish. But then it resumed and got bullish. It pulled back. It got a little negative, but then the mobile band is telling me, it's still positive. And you can see that it went higher. So that's pretty much the TTM trend coloring system. So coupled with the mobile band when it's bearish and the TTM coloring candle system gets red, it's bearish. So you could probably have something similar in your trading platform, where the candles turn colors when it's bullish or bearish. It's pretty much the same thing. It doesn't have to be this indicator, but that's pretty much what it is. Okay, so so that's the coloring system on that. Now, what I'm going to do is wrong window. I also have the Kanashi candle system. The Kanashi candle system, I have it when candles are bullish, their bodies are open, or I guess clear, not filled. And when the candles get filled up, that means that, there we go. So I have it where the Kanashi system, when it's bullish, I want the candles to be like clear, open, transparent. And when it's bearish, I want the candles to be filled in. So you see, like right here, the trend was still white, and this was still kind of positive. But you can see that here, the candle got filled in, even though the coloring system is white. But the Kanashi is telling me, careful, there might be a turn. Now here, the Kanashi candle turned negative, and the coloring system turned negative, and the mobile band turned red. But then the probabilities here of this continuing lower are greater. So that's the kind of thing. It says, like, if you're going to go short and you don't want to be too risky, you could wait for this candle or this candle. If you're really risky, you could go and maybe short from here once you get the Kanashi body candle to be filled up. And you could kind of tell when they're going to turn because they kind of get really skinny and small. And then they like turn. You see, like here, example, they're getting like really skinny And, it could explode to the upside or it could explode to the downside. But this is when something's about to be cooking. And I put out on my Twitter that, Monday, possibly Monday or Tuesday, there's going to be a big move in this market, in this sector, or you could say in chemical. The question is it going to go up? It's going to go down? That's when we're going to find out. So this really is the system here, just a Kanashi. As you can see, we see it right here when it turned, the body turned clear, but the coloring system is still bearish. So here you would be like, Kanashi is giving me a little hint that maybe there might be a pop or a turn. So I'm going to be a little more risky and I'm going to buy here or buy at the open here. And then here you can see that it gave you bullish action, but the MOBA is telling you it's still negative or bearish. And the coloring system is telling you, still bearish. So if you're risky, you'll buy it here or here. If you're conservative, you don't want to take too much risk, you will wait till you get a white color. You get the positive Kanashi candle, which is transparent, and you get the Bollinger Band green. So those are kind of rules based that you will trade this system, giving you ideas. And you see that it pulled back in. The MOBO, everything just got negative, and then it went back up. So you get the idea. So those are the indicators there. Let's see what else I have. And the next thing I have, this I call it the mapping MOBO. I got this probably from one community I was in. Pretty much what it is, I have the 20, and it's kind of like a custom indicator. Pretty much, and you don't have to get this, it's pretty much the 50, the 20 SMA, the 50, the 100, and the 200, and then that's it. So let's add that. And it's all color coded the way I learned it. I kind of kept with the colors. And I kind of have these colors all throughout all my charting systems because I kind of know what they mean. So I recommend you do the same thing. If you have a lot of systems that you use or charts, different charts, try to keep everything with a theme. So the yellow is the 20. The 50 is the like the teal or blue, light blue. The green is the 200, and the dashed one is the 100. And these are all simple moving averages. So I put that on all my charts. And sometimes I don't put it because I know where they're at on other charts, but pretty much I try to have that theme throughout all the charts. Let's go to the next thing. So that, gotta go lower here. Yep, so that covers these indicators. And then I have Woody's Day pivots there. I like Woody's pivots. Let's see. The Woody's pivots shows up like a dot. So like if I'm here watching the daily and I want to kind of zoom in into the 30, this is what I get. These little pivots. So this is the what they call it, the midpoint, I think. It's a name. PP. Yeah. And then the R1, R2. So these are just the daily pivots. They're there. I really sometimes I zoom in or sometimes I don't. I don't leave it in the daily, so they're kind of there. But I'm not going to explain the Woody's pivot. You guys pretty much know all that. You could use whatever pivot system you want. So I have the day in there. And what's this? Yeah, this is the linear regression channel. You have TTM. And it's just pretty much basic. There's nothing special about this. So I'm sure you have some kind of linear regression channel. The difference is that this kind of plots it automatically. But I think most systems do that. It's pretty much telling me the direction and the channels is plotting with the linear regression channel, extremes and extremes to the top, to the bottom. So that's there. Um, and that adjusts through the time frame that you know, whatever you're using. So let's see. I think like things are shifting here. Yep, I got that. TTM, this is a John Carter. And I think that linear regression channel, that's a John Carter indicator too. This one is a scalp thing I use also. Pretty much what this is telling me is that it's okay for a scalp if you're going to go short. It's kind of giving you an indication that, yeah, you could go short or you could go long. And maybe you could put your stop down there. So that's how I kind of use it. Yeah, let me see something here. It's called TTM Scalper Alert. I read the description here on it. I'm sure there's somewhere where you can probably find it. But it's called Scalper Alert. It doesn't give me any, alerts like tones or sounds. It just kind of plots these little arrows on the chart, like right here. You can see that. This will like pop up once it gets to a certain price area, or just don't know exactly. Like you see, like right here, there's no scalp alert right now, but if things were to like turn, they'll pop up right here. And I think you could put your stop up there, or just kind of letting you know if you're gonna go short. Now is the time that you could probably do it and put your scalp down. And if it starts trending higher and this candle pops up, I'm just speculating. Then this thing pops up, and then you could probably go in and do a scalp to the upside. So I just have it there just for visuals. And the next one would be the Tom DeMark sequential indicator, which you probably heard a lot that I've been saying on my YouTube channel. This one is from Tom DeMark. I don't know if you guys may have that on your trading platform. Here on Thinkorswim is called Sequence Counter. And the default numbers are 9 and 13, which I leave. And add that. And you can see that the numbers are plotted. There's a 13. Let's see, somewhere around here. Nothing really interesting here, and nothing really interesting, but they do plot good turning points. Over here, you can see that maybe it hasn't been turning points. See, here was 9, but then the high was here, so that didn't work out. So it works, and then sometimes it doesn't work, so it's like everything else. Here you can see that it was getting to a 9. You got 2 more days, and then the turn came. You see how that one worked? And then here was a 5, 6, 7, 8. You got to 13 here. And then you were like, what? 13 was right here. You had 2 more days. And then you had that low of August 19th. That may work. It may not work. But I have it there just because I kind of understand it. And once I get close to these fluctuation points of 9 and 13, and there's a cluster of other things confirming that maybe there's a possible turn. It helps with my analysis. Maybe a turn is imminent just because all these things are lining up. And then the Tom DeMark adding to it helps out. PPS, this is a John Person's indicator. You probably heard me say PPSL signal. This is what that is. It kind of helps you be in the right direction. So you see right here, these yellow and blue, these are the PPS sell signals and buy signals. Like right here, you had a buy, PPS buy, and you have a Kanashi bullish candle. The mobile bands are, green, which is good. The trend color of the candle is green, and you got scalpers alert that it's okay to go for it. Above the moving averages is trending. you would buy it, or you will wait for a close to, I think typically what he says is you get the PPS buy signal, and then the next day you wait for a pullback. I think that's how he recommends you use it. Because I mean, in this day, once you see it, but the close hasn't happened, it could probably turn on you on that same day, and this will disappear, and you bought it, and then you got stopped out or uh, just lose money. So I think the safe bet is, as he says, is get the PPS buy signal, let the day close, and then the next day, if there's a pullback, then buy it. If there's not a pullback, then you got to get in where the open, or try to get in there and follow it. So it's one of those things that, it depends how you would play it. But that's the PPS buy and sell signal. See, like right here, you had a PPS sell signal, scalper alert. The Kanashi candles are just kind of sideways, going from positive to negative while the trend is still positive above the 20. Mobile bands are positive, but like right here, this is when you would go. So you could probably just have the signal and then just wait for it to like give you the green light with everything lining up. What's next? Let me move along. Put all these. Yep. Next will be the ichimoku, the cloud, which I love to use. This is what makes it so easy in regards to the glance, that one glance I spoke about. And this, when you put this cloud, which is this cloud right here, this big cloud, it kind of tells you short term, which is the daily chart, that it's a little on the weaker side. As you can see how it was weaker. And this line would be some kind of resistance. Technically, they say it's normally the 50%. If you do some extensions, this is pretty much the middle center of gravity. And, fluctuation now, we're above the cloud. So in the short term, it's looking good. So that's why I have the weekly and the daily, just to see what the short term and then the midterm and then the big picture, which is the monthly, what's happening there. So you can see that prices are above the cloud. So when the prices are above the cloud, that's bullish. And you guys already know about the Ichimoku cloud. When the cloud in the future is projecting bullish price action, you see that the cloud is, this color could be any color you're on your platform. But when it's like getting bearish, you can see it turning this color. And what else I have here? The old stuff I put on the simple glance. And then I have the weekly Woody's pivot, but you don't have to use Woody's pivot. You could use whatever pivot system you want to use. And then the weekly pivots look like this. So you see these little dots are the daily. So if I want to zoom into the 4 hour, these are the daily pivots. This is the PP support and the 4 hour here. And then the weekly are these bigger ones. So let's look at the weekly. So this is the PP, the midpoint. And then this is the R1, R2, stuff like that. And then R3 up here. And then S1 and S2 and S3 on the weekly. But I never, when I do my videos, go under the under the daily chart. I don't really keep it on the daily and the weekly. Excuse me. So that's the weekly right there. I might as well add the monthly. And then the monthly I added too. But sometimes I have it on the weekly also, but you can see it on the daily chart. So you see the monthly is this big long line. So the monthly, you see the weekly because it covers a week right here. Then the dailies are the dots. I want to zoom in. So you can see that in the monthly, the PP is right here. And this is R1, R2, and R3 is all the way up here, 33, support system. So those are the pivots I use. You could use whatever. And then the market profile. Did I cover everything? Yep. Woody's pivot, scalper, sequential, PPS, Muku. Yep. The last one is the market profile. Well, they call it a TPO, but it's really what's the market profile. TPO here on the Dick or Swim. I think they have a market profile and they have a TPO. There's like two of them. And what I do, this is the value area high. You can see this red line right here. And then there is some kind of line right here. See that blue line? That's the point of control. And then the value area low lines up with these pivots. So this is like the good line to follow. And it all depends on the time frame. Like this is a 1 year. I kind of fluctuate between because it's like a shorter time frame to daily. So I'm always between either the 1 month or 3 months. This is 3 months. You can see the point of control is here. Value area high is there. And it just kind of tell me what price action, most of the price action is happening. And it's pretty much right here. Now I could go to the 1 month time frame. See what shows there. And you can see that the value area high is here, and now it really pushed even higher. And the point of control would be that 25.21 value area low. So that's pretty much it in regards to my simple glance setup. If you ever want to follow it or set it up that way, pretty much that's it. And like I said, I fluctuate between the candles a lot. I put the regular candles just 'cause I like to see it. And then sometimes I just put the Kanashi just to get another glance. So you can see that this is about to explode or turn or do something. And I think Monday, definitely Monday, there's a lot of clusters lining up. The question is it going to go up? Is it going to go down? So that's the key. But that's pretty much it. Hopefully you like this video, and I'll keep you posted on my setups and stuff like that I use and different things, different systems, and different techniques and tips.